Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. If you've already subscribed to our channel, thank you very much. If you haven't, please do. And when you do, be sure and tap the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we put up a new video. If you tap the little like button, we appreciate that too. I've been asked a whole bunch of times what kind of electronic ignition I use in my Shovelhead. Now, there are a lot of brands out there. I'm sure there are a lot of wonderful products. This is the one I'm using, and I like it a lot. It's a Dynatech 2000 IP. Now, the Dynatech 2000 IP is an ignition system that allows you to do just about anything with it you might like. It's a single fire system, which means it fires the cylinders independently of each other. The way Harleys are designed, and when I say the way they're designed, I mean everything up through an evolution motor. Both plugs fire at the same time. One plug fires on the compression stroke, the other one is wasted in the exhaust stroke, and it's just wasted spark. So a lot of systems are made for single fire. This one, it is optional. You can switch it either way. Now, I think Mike just showed inside the cone here so you can see how it goes. This system will fit in any 1970 up to 1999 evolutions, 70 being the first cone motor Shovelhead. In other words, it's an alternator engine, doesn't have a generator up front, has this cone cam cover where the ignition system fits right in. So I've installed that system in there. Now, this system, I use dual coils, I have dual spark plugs, fires both plugs in each cylinder independently of the plugs in the other cylinder. Now, there's several advanced curves in the system, and with the little switches Mike just showed on this thing, you can put in any of the already designed advanced curves that Dyna has put into it. However, if you go for the optional software and the whole works, you can do it on your computer. And I have a computer here in the garage one of my friends gave me. It's an old computer, old system. It was out of use where it was being used, and he gave it to me, and I've used it for just for programming my ignition system. So in getting my Shovelhead ready again, getting it all together and making a bunch of changes in the motor, I needed to reconfigure my advanced curves. Now, with this whole system, there comes an optional harness for the computer operation. When I say computer operation, I'm talking about an outside computer that sets this up. So here's the little plug for it, and here's the plug coming out of the computer, and I have now attached it to the motorcycle. So I took the bike for a ride. I had it already set up, and I took the bike for a ride yesterday, and I decided that I would like to advance my ignition timing about 2 degrees from where it is. In other words, when I got on it hard, it pinged just a little bit. So I'm going to change that. At right here, I've got it at 32 degrees, and this is on the part throttle. In other words, when you're cruising down the road. So it's a little hard for me to see through the camera. So here we go. I'm going to change that 32 to a 30, and I'm going to do that right on down the row. So at each RPM level, I still have a maximum advance of 30 degrees. Now I'm going to program it all the way up to actually a higher level than I'm ever going to run it. Right on up to 6,000 RPM. Now I'm going to click it and it's going to say update curve. Now you can watch this curve change. The dotted line is the part throttle curve. Update curve. And there it is. Now when I get above 4,000 RPM, let's see, it drops off. So let's see here, RPM limit, let's set it at, let's set it at 6,000 and see what it does. Didn't do anything. The red line moved over because that is my maximum RPM. I think I'm going to take it back to, let's see if I can change that to 30. Whoops, that was 90. There it is. Now we've got it 30 degrees of total advance at part throttle. Now, wide open throttle actually stands for, when you get on it hard, there is on an Evolution motor, there is what they call a VOES, which is vacuum operated electronic switch. And that comes standard on an Evolution motor, and this is made to hook up to it. And what it does is when you get it hit it hard, all of a sudden your vacuum in your motor drops because your throttle is wide open. So what it does is it operates that switch and it switches over to the other curve, the wide open throttle curve. What I did is I put an actual toggle switch on it. So if I'm in the mountains and I want to drop a couple of degrees, all I have to do is switch it over. So I'll go over here to the wide open curve. That's WOT, stands for wide open throttle. And there you can see what it does on wide open throttle. So we've got wide open throttle and part throttle. Like I said, if I'm in the mountains and I decide it's lugging and I need to retard the timing just a little bit, I can just hit that little toggle switch. So we updated the curves. Now we're going to save that curve. Save curve, save, and there it is. Now we're going to load that curve into the computer. Curve loaded, okay. Now we're hooked up. Now we turn on the ignition switch of the motorcycle and we click on send curves, and it will send the curve to the motorcycle. Ignition not found. Gee, I'm not switched on to the right place. So now I can switch that over and load that curve. Let's see, send curves. Progress. Curve sent successfully. Okay. Those are the curves that are now in the motorcycle. Now I turn it off. I turn it on one more time. And those curves are now programmed into the ignition system itself. Now I can take it out for a test drive down the freeway at about Mach 1, hit the throttle, and it's not going to ping, it's not going to lug, it's going to be happy. If not, I can come back and change it. But that's the beauty of a system like that. If it's hard to follow, I mean, I tried to explain it thoroughly. It gets a little bit hard to follow, but with it all written up with the instructions, It works really well. And that's it for now. I just wanted to show it because that's what I've been going through tuning this thing. And now it's ready to go for a ride, so I think I will. I'll see you out on the road.